Hey Legacy community, this is Terramaster, back again with another June Highlander top 4 replay. I know at the end of the last video I might have said that the next video would be the finals of this tournament. However, I did go ahead and decide to show you the top 4 replay that we have here. So as always, the link to the description, yes, the link to the description is in the description, but the link to our Discord is in the description, where you can join these tournaments. Remember, we have 3 tournaments at minimum per month. In fact, I can tell you, coming up later this month, we have a regular speed duel tournament, as well as a Android format tournament, which will be to celebrate the coming of Jinzo to speed duels. I'll have more videos talking about the Android format and the tournament coming up later. But for right now, let's get into this replay, and here we go. So it's Isate versus Shimakaru today. Isate wins the rock, paper, scissors, and I do believe he will choose to go second. Indeed he will. This is a Weevil Underwood versus Weevil Underwood, Cocoon versus Cocoon mirror match. Shimakaru will set a Doki Pawn and pass turn over. Isate will set a Maneater Bug and a Kunai with Chain and pass turn right back over. Isate will set a Yomi Ship and pass turn right back over. I think a lot of this might be the fact that none of them drew any powerful monsters at the same time. But also, part of it might be that nobody really wants to attack, as the other player is playing Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. But like I said, part of it is probably just, and here's the little Danny Pawn being set too. So both players do have a Parasite Searcher set, but again, there's probably some kind of fear in there from both players that there is a Parasite in the other player's hand. But alas, Shimakaru says, nah fam, I got this. Summon a Gap after tributing that Yomi Ship. Big damage into the Maneater Bug, hits it hard, passes turn over, does not give him the Parasite. He's not going to lose his Gap like that, man. I'm telling you. Here comes Zoma the Spirit. Mask of the Accursed will get put onto that Gap. He's like, you don't want me to put a Parasite on it? I'm putting a mask on it. You will burn every single turn. Activates Cocoon of Ultra Evolution, uses the second effect, gets to recycle Maneater Bug and draw an additional card. He had set that Zoma face down before he did that. And then he will, I believe, took some time to think and then pass his turn over. Shimakaru will draw into Charging Gaia, chooses not to summon, not to attack, and pass turn over. As turn passes back over to Isate, Mask starts its burning process of 500 damage. Isate, that's it, he doesn't do anything else. Shimakaru draws into Dekoichi. He will sacrifice both Gap and Goki Pawn, sorry, not Danny Pawn, to get that mask off of him and summon the Charging Gaia, since it was tribute summoned, is at a full power of 2300. Isate will activate Zoma the Spirit during the end phase, as Shimakaru once again chose not to attack. Zoma will switch to attack mode and will be threatening lethal if it successfully suicides into the Charging Gaia, which it does. Oh wait, no, oops, I mixed up their life points. I'm an idiot. Okay, Shimakaru still has 1200 life points left. 500 damage, battle damage for Isate, and the turn passes back over to Shimakaru, who picks up the old Vindictive Edition off the top. He will set Dekoichi, and interesting, he summoned the Yomi Ship in attack mode here, I think probably to bait Charging Gaia into attacking, although I'm not sure if I agree with that play, but it's definitely interesting. Dekoichi gets set, turn passes. Isate draws, activates Kunai with Chain, powers up Danny Pawn. Now that's an interesting play if I've ever seen one. And then he will activate the Cocoon of Ultra Evolution using its first effect without Parasite. Incredible. Big brain, the biggest brain. Sets a card face down. I don't think it'll matter. Moth will swing into the Gaia, doing exactly 1200 damage for lethal. Kunai with Chain being used with Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. You've seen it here first, and even if you haven't, you've seen it here for the first time in a long time. And even if you haven't, well, I've seen it here first. So, you know what? That's good enough for me. As we go into Game 2, Shimakaru will choose to go second. Isate will set 2 back row and pass. Oops, I hit fast forward. But anyway, Shimakaru sets a T-set of a monster in a back row and passes. Isate draws, activates the Night Beam, sets a monster, passes. Shimakaru set monster is Gokipon. Isate set monster is Blast Sphere. Dekoichi comes face down onto the field. Nightmare Wheel activates on it during the end phase, locking that Dekoichi down and also beginning the process of 500 burn per turn. And Isate will do nothing else for the rest of his turn, passes turn over. Shimakaru will pick up a Metal Armored Bug, decides not to tribute summon here. Summons a Gearfried, will swing into the Blast Sphere, a perfect hard counter. As soon as Blast Sphere attempts to equip itself to Gearfried, Gearfried's effect will pop it. Shimakaru passes turn over. Isate picks up that Zoma. Nightmare Wheel does 500 burn damage. Zoma is set face down. Charging Gaia is normal summon using its effect at 1900, 100 stronger than Gearfried. He swings into that Gearfried for that 100 battle damage. Shimakaru will draw Mander Bugs, tribute summon Metal Armored Bug, attack that Charging Gaia, do that 900 damage, pass turn over. Zoma the Spirit comes up in the end phase. Isate will not attack for the suicide. He could have brought Shimakaru down to 100 had that attack been successful, but he chose not to. Passes turn over, Shimakaru will set Mander Bug and set his own Zoma the Spirit. Mander Bug is one of his best options right now to get rid of that Zoma the Spirit, and in case a suicide attempt is made on this turn, he has Sphere Karibo to block that. He will use Cocoon's second effect to recycle an insect, draw a card, and he will pass turn over. Dust Tornado comes up in the end phase, destroying his Zoma. Isate will draw a card, draw Floodgate, set it face down, and he will choose to not attack once again. Not suiciding, not taking out the face down, just letting his Zoma stand there look pretty. As Shimakaru will draw into Nightmare Wheel, flip his Maneater Bug, which gets floodgated. Interesting, because now if it flips again, his effect will activate again. I do believe the thought process there was if Maneater Bug attacks, that is lethal, of course, but he will summon the Charging Gaia, which is lethal anyway. Here we go to Game 3. Since Isate lost Game 2, he will choose to go second for the third and final game. Shimakaru will open up the Golden Ladybug, which will give him 500 life points per turn as long as he keeps it in his hand. He'll set a Blast Sphere. He'll set 2 back row, one of which is a hard counter to tribute monsters and blast held by tribute. Here comes New Doria from Isate and 2 back row. He will attack into the Blast Sphere. Blast Sphere flips, attaches itself onto New Doria, threatening to blow it up on Isate's next standby phase. Golden Ladybug gives him another 500 life points. Another Maneater Bug, another insect which he drew, gets set face down, and turn passes over. Isate will draw his own Land-Eater Bug, Golden Ladybug, and now it's a big life point gaining contest. And here comes that Blast Sphere, exploding, blowing up the Nidoria, doing 1200 burn damage. Isate summons Zombina, will swing into that Maneater Bug, and it goes through, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. However, Zombina's effect does activate to bring back New Doria. New Doria will hit for 1200, and turn passes over. Shimakaru will draw, will gain 500 from Ladybug, and will pass his turn. Decided not to set the Ladybug, decided not to use the Cocoon of Ultra Evolution's second effect just yet. Isate will get 500 life points from the Ladybug. He will attack with New Doria, do 1200 more damage, and turn pass over. Shard of Greed will be drawn by Shimakaru, who will activate Shard of Greed and pass. Nope, this time he will use the Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. He will shuffle Maneater Bug back into his deck. He will draw a card. Draws into that Metal Armor Bug, not so good right now. Isate has a Zoma the Spirit in the end phase, and this is going to be big potential damage. Let's see if it goes through. New Doria will attack. New Doria does go through. Will the Zoma go through as well? No, it will not. It gets Sphere Karibo. Shimakaru summons his own Zoma in the end phase. Shard of Greed gets a counter, 1 turn away from drawing 2 cards. And Zoma, he will not attack with Zoma, not willing to take the burn damage or lose one of his monsters to New Doria. He will end his turn. A lot of not attacking going on in this duel, which is what's making it so long. Here comes Maneater Bug face down. New Doria will try to suicide into the Zoma. He will be successful, take 600 damage, pop the Zoma. Zoma attacks the face down. Shimakaru does get to draw a card. As turn passes over, he draws another card. Shard of Greed now becomes Pot of Greed as he gets to draw 2 more since it's been 2 turns. He will activate Mask of the Accursed, lock that Zoma down. Turn will pass over. And Isate finally draws into the Parasite, and wouldn't you know it, he does it when there are no Parasite targets on Shimakaru's field. Crazy. Turn passes over. Shimakaru picks up the Windstorm, takes 500 burn damage from Mask of the Accursed, as now both players are gaining life points. Some of them are losing life points. 500s all over the place. Turn passes over. Another 500 life point gain. Yomi Ship comes up. Yomi Ship will do 800 poke damage directly. Pass the turn back over. Shimakaru will Duel. Nightmare Wheel. He has a lot of cards in his hand right now. He chooses to summon that Charging Gaia. He will take out the Yomi Ship. He will take that trade. And indeed, a trade is exactly what he'll get. Turn passes over. Isate draws into a Gokipon. Will he poke for 800? Nope. He will instead attach the Parasite Paranoid onto his own Zoma the Spirit. But before he can activate the skill, a Wild Tornado activates, popping that Parasite Paranoid. Gokipon is summoned, pokes for 800 damage. As I questioned at the start of the turn, I think what he was going for there was a lethal with a Moth, but did not work. He passes turn over, takes burn damage. Golden Ladybug once again gives 500 life points. Back row sets face down, and turn passes over. Isate will draw into the Dark Ruler Hades. He will finally sacrifice that Zoma, getting rid of that Mask of the Accursed. And then he will activate Jar of Avarice. So for those of you wondering why he would not use his Cocoon second effect last turn to recycle the Parasite, I believe it's because he was waiting for the 5th card to go into his graveyard in order to activate the Jar so that he can recycle his entire graveyard back into his deck, draw a card, as this is clear to both players at this point that this is going to be a long duel, and whichever player has more resources, the closer you get to endgame, is going to win, and that is how they're probably both approaching it at this point. So here comes Gokipon poking for 800, and then Hades attacks right into that hard counter, Blast Hell by Tribute, destroys all face of attack position monsters. It's a Mirror Force plus a 1000 burn effect card. Great card for if your opponent is running tribute monsters. Turn passes over. Shimakaru will set 2 back row. Pass turnover. Golden Ladybug is still giving players life points every turn. I'm not going to mention it from this point forward. Cocoon of Ultra Evolution recycles the Gokipon and draws a card from his deck. Sets that Floodgate Trap Hole. Sets that Twister. Turn passes over. Shimakaru will draw into Newdoria. Gain life points. I'm sorry, I said I wasn't going to mention that anymore. Newdoria will attack into Maneater Bug. Turn passes over. Isate draws once again, drawing into Parasite when there are no targets on his opponent's side of the field. He doesn't have space right now anyway, but he could always easily summon that Metal Reflect Slime to create space. Anyway, he passes turn over. Shimakaru will draw into Gokipon. He will summon it, go for that poke damage of 800. The Metal Reflect Slime does come out to act as a wall, but Windstorm of Itakwa. Gokipon will redeclare its attack, Windstorm of Itakwa, but the redeclaration of the attack opened up a window for Sphere Karibo to block that attack. Now, one thing I'll mention is a cool little Windstorm trick so that your Windstorm can play around a Sphere Karibo, as what happened right there, is that you can activate Windstorm in the battle step. So the way it goes is that you declare your attack, then your opponent has to respond to attack declaration. So if you look at Sphere Karibo, something I learned recently from one of the judges over on our Discord, is that Sphere Karibo is a trigger effect, and it only triggers, if you read the text, when an opponent's monster declares an attack. So a Sphere Karibo, if you do not trigger it on attack declaration, you can no longer trigger it for that attack. And so after attack declaration comes something called a battle step. So in battle step, you can still activate trap cards that are spell speed 2 that don't have a specific activation condition, such as Windstorm of Itakwa. So what he could have done here is he could have attacked after there's no response on the attack declaration, if there was none. He will activate Windstorm in the battle step, and then the window to trigger Sphere Karibo has already passed. So now Windstorm would have flip that Metal Reflect Slime into attack mode, and Gokipon's attack would have gone through unless there was another card that was Battle Step activatable to stop it. Anyway, let's continue with the duel. Parasite will attach itself to the Gokipon, but it once again gets countered with a Dust Tornado. However, this time he does have a Metal Armored Bug. He will switch his slime back into defense. However, that's it. No more Parasite. If he wants to use Cocoon of Ultra Evolution again, he's going to have to use his own Equip spell, which I checked the graveyard. He does still have Kunai in his deck, so he can do that again, but Cocoon and Parasite combo has effectively been eliminated at this point in the game. So Metal Armored Bug will attack into the Gokipon, giving him an opportunity. Nope, he will Nightmare Wheel it. He does not take the opportunity to search for his own Parasite, unless I'm dumb and he's already used it. He has not. I'm not that forgetful. And turn passes over. Shimakaru will draw. Nightmare Wheel will do 500 burn damage to Isate. And let's see how he deals with this bug. He will tribute off his Gokipon to summon Gap. However, Gap gets flood gated. And I may be wrong on this, but I believe since Gap was on the field, its effect would switch these two monsters to attack mode, but it's kind of irrelevant since they could just get switched back on Isate's turn. As he does get his turn, he does pass. Shimakaru will draw into an old Vindictive Magician. He will set it face down and pass turn over. There's his answer to the Metal Armor Bug. Isate will set Nightmare Wheel, set it, pass turn over. Shimakaru drew into Parasite Paranoid. Here comes a perfectly ultimate Great Moth. He will equip it onto the Metal Reflect Slime, activate his Cocoon of Ultra Evolution, and summon Danipon from his deck. Interesting. Chose not to summon the perfectly ultimate Great Moth. I checked the graveyard to make sure it wasn't already there. He flipped over the old Vindictive Magician and destroyed the face down monster. Sacrificed 2 to summon Metal Armored Bug. Will Metal Armored Bug suicide into Metal Armored Bug, but gets blocked by Nightmare Wheel, and he will scoop it up, as I believe he has no answer to this Nightmare Wheel block. Oh, his Moth was in his hand. I'm such an idiot. I'm so sorry. You've probably already put 5 angry comments in the comment section saying the Moth was in his hand. Why can't you see anything? Okay, but I believe Shimakaru had no answer to Nightmare Wheel in the next 3 turns, and he was going to deck out. That is why he surrendered this duel. This duel was incredibly long, incredibly intense, but alas, it ends with a deck out. A Cocoon mirror match ends with a deck out. Tell me where you've seen that before. Tell me where you've seen Kunai with Chain be used for Cocoon of Ultra Evolution before. Anyway, the next time will, I promise, no false advertising, be the finals of this tournament. Terramaster out.